Hi guys, it's Taylor. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another budget video. Today we are setting up my August budget pages. We have first my variable income set up over here. These two pages will set up my expense tracker. Then we'll have my actual July budget and my weekly check-in. And then here we'll have my sinking funds and my transaction log for the sinking funds. So we're just gonna set all of this up in one go. I do also have my dashboard notes pages that I'm gonna set up as well. So we're just gonna start first with setting up the monthly view. I'm gonna be using Sarah Marie stickers. These are my favorite budget stickers. I've used these and Planner Kate before, but I really love Sarah Marie's designs and her setup. I watch her budget videos all the time, so if you have not watched Sarah Marie, definitely go check her out. She's here on YouTube, and then her Etsy shop I will also have linked down below. But a lot of what I have learned about budgeting has come straight from her channel. I've watched her since January of 2019, and I just love her process, and I've definitely taken what she does and kind of adapted it to work for me, and I'm still changing it every month. There's different ways that I'm doing things, and it's just kind of a trial and error. So please keep that in mind as you're watching my budget videos, that I am not like a financial guru in any way. I'm not an accountant. I don't have any financial advice for you guys. This is just strictly how I plan on managing my money month to month. And a lot of you guys really like watching these and keeping up with my budget. A lot of you have said that it keeps you really motivated throughout the month. So that's why I am getting on here and sharing it with you all, but I am in no way offering any sort of specific advice because I am not qualified to do so. So I just like to start off with that disclaimer. So we're just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna set up the monthly view. If you guys haven't watched me budget before, this is kind of what my monthly view ends up looking like. So I'm just gonna lay down the layout, and then basically I'm gonna transfer this color-coded key over to August after I wrap up my July budget results. But that is sort of what this page is gonna end up looking like. It's just me tracking my expenses throughout the month in specific categories, so that way I know where my money is going and in what categories. So that is what I'm gonna start with here. Okay, perfect. So that is literally all that I need to do to set up those pages. If you are not used to sticker and paper budgeting and you're like, what the heck are you doing? This is seriously just for the looks. Sarah talks a lot about how she's more motivated to budget and check back into her budget planner when it looks cute. And that's simply what I'm doing, is I'm just adding in these stickers to give each month kind of a different look, and it's fun. It turns budgeting into more of a fun hobby, and when you don't take things too seriously and you lighten things up a little bit, it makes it more enjoyable. And budgeting is not the most enjoyable thing. So that is just what I'm doing on those pages. It just adds a little bit of a theme to the spread. Okay, so then I'm gonna come back here next and I'm gonna go ahead and set up my variable income. So the variable budget is basically the money that I get from my side hustle jobs. So I obviously do YouTube on the side. I do not make any ad revenue from YouTube quite yet. Once I hit 1,000 subscribers, then I'm qualified to monetize my channel, which I do plan on doing. It's probably not going to be very much, but any little bit I will just keep track of that I earn here in this section. And then I also use this section to track the variable income that I receive from my Arbonne business, as well as my affiliate links. So this is just a great way to track all of that side income that's not coming directly from my teaching job. And then if I do have any expenses that pertain to those variable incomes, such as if I purchase something for Arbonne as part of my business, then I will take it out of that Arbonne income and keep track of it here. And then whatever I end up having left over that I didn't turn around and spend on products or equipment or things like that, then I will just transfer that over into my my main budget, if that makes sense. So kind of sounds confusing, but it makes sense in my brain. If you guys have any questions about how I do things, please just don't hesitate to ask. So I need to figure out, I bought 3 different washies. I need to figure out which ones I want to use. So I think for my budget, I'm gonna use, I think I'm gonna use this washi because I really, really love it. And then I think I'm gonna use this one for my sinking funds. So then that means I'll use this for my variable income and my dashboard pages, if I even need it for the dashboard pages. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this up. So my variable income is really nice to have when I end up going over in different areas of my budget. This is kind of like that extra little boost that I get throughout the month. So usually I don't do a whole lot of spending for my Arbonne business or for my YouTube or anything like that. So basically anything I end up making usually dumps right over into my normal budget, but I do just like to keep track of it anyways separately, just so I can kind of see what it looks like separate from my normal budget. So here is just where I would estimate the amount of variable income that I have and then track how much I actually make. I left 3 spaces: Arbonne, YouTube, and affiliate links. And then this is the section where I would track any expenses that come straight out of that income. Okay, perfect. So as you can see, here is where I track the total expenses that I have, and then whatever is remaining is included in my budget. So that's all that I'm going to do as far as setting that up. I really like to keep my variable income more private. That's just my choice. So I'm not going to bother to set up my income and my estimated income or any of that here on camera, but I did just want to go ahead and lay out the stickers. So we have the variable income. Here is my expense tracking monthly view. We're gonna skip these for now. Let's just go straight to setting up my budget and my weekly check-in. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and use this washi for the budget, and then I also have my thin washi here as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and lay the headers down, and then I will walk you guys through my budget. Okay, so this top section, again, I'm just tracking my income type, what I estimate it will be, what it actually turns out to be, and then what the difference is. So I just left 2 spaces because I'm gonna have my salary and then my variable income from all of my extra side things. I do not like to share my income. That might be something I change in the future. I am a first-year teacher, so that kind of gives you an idea of what my salary looks like, but for now I just don't feel totally comfortable sharing that information with you all. So I will just be sharing my categories and how much I'm adding to, how much I'm budgeting for in each section. Hopefully that's still helpful for you guys. I haven't had anybody complain. So that's just how I'm choosing to share with you guys for now. So Sarah does offer an expenses strip, or she offers a variable expenses versus a fixed expenses strip. I like to separate my expenses just because I feel like it's a little bit easier to kind of see that way. So that's just how I'm going to choose to do it. So we are going to start first. Well, I'll go ahead and lay both down. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here for you guys so you can kind of see what I'm writing. So starting with variable expenses, I'm just going to first write out my categories and then I'll add how much I'm budgeting. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 categories in my variable expenses section. So the first one, I have a couple new ones from last month that I didn't use that I really felt like I needed to add this month. So the first one is electric. I already know exactly what my bill is going to be. It shows up in the middle of August. So I will owe $72.40. Then for groceries, I am going to budget $200. I really would like it to be less than that, but I went over last month, and so I'm just going to try and keep it at $200 and challenge myself to stay in that $200 range. If you do not watch my channel, then it might be helpful to know that I do live on my own. So I'm only buying groceries for one person. I do think that I overbought a little bit last month because I had several items go bad. So I think that just means I need to be better about my meal planning and knowing exactly what I'm purchasing and what it's going to be used for. So I'm going to keep it at $200. That gives me about $50 a week on groceries, which should be really doable for somebody who lives on their own. I also do like to go grocery shopping about every 2 weeks, so I like to buy like 2 weeks worth of food in advance. So really it comes down to spending about $100 per trip. That's the goal. For eating out, I want to budget $60. I haven't finished my July budget results yet, but I'm pretty sure that I stayed in my eating out budget, which I'm super proud of myself for. So I'm going to keep it at $60, but I'm going to challenge myself to not use all of that budget. That gives me about $15 a week. So again, that's very doable for somebody who lives on their own. $15, I mean, it should cost me less than $15 to go out to eat one time, and the goal is to stick to probably only about once a week with eating out. So then for gas, I'm going to up my budget to $100. So I only budgeted about $60 last month, but I am going back to work this month, which means I will be making a 35-minute commute every day. So I don't know how much it'll cost me in gas. I did get a new car, and so it gets much better gas mileage than my old car used to get. I had to budget about $200 in gas in my old car with how far I was driving, but I'm also making a shorter drive than I was before. So a shorter drive, and then also having a car with better gas mileage should hopefully mean that I can make it with only $100 budgeted for gas. So we'll see how that goes, but that's one of those things that you really can't help that much. I mean, obviously, like avoiding making extra trips when you don't need to, and that sort of thing, but we'll see how that plays out. Next, I have a personal care category. So this is a category that last month I budgeted about $100 for, which may seem like a lot. I include everything in personal care from toilet paper to skincare to makeup. I do use a lot of skincare and makeup. I also sell Arbonne, so most of the time I'm getting those products straight from my own business, but I usually just use whatever money I make from Arbonne to buy my products. So I usually give myself about $100, assuming that that'll basically be covered by my payment. But I did end up going over last month and buying more than I got paid. So this month I decided to half my personal care budget from $100 to only $50. This is going to be a tight month. I really had to sit back and look at my finances, and I am expecting a pay increase in September, but I'm really like, I'm barely making it, you guys. I'm a spender at heart. So moving out on my own, I knew was going to challenge me. I did not move in with my boyfriend for that reason, because I wanted to be challenged to minimize my spending and just start to live a more frugal lifestyle. So it's going to take me a lot of time to get there, but this month I really need to buckle down because I really need to start putting more money into my savings. I need to build my emergency savings up because it's not there at all. That's a huge financial goal for me. So anyways, long story short, I'm really trying to limit myself, and it may seem like $50 for personal care is not limiting myself, but when I'm used to spending over $100 on personal care every month, I mean, I'm talking nutritional supplements, skincare products, makeup products, I buy it all. So this is actually a very difficult category for me to stay under in, but I need to push myself. This is the month that I just need to be as frugal as possible. So with that being said, you're probably like, if you're trying to be frugal, why did you add another category? Well, I added a sticker category because I do not have stickers for September for my planners, and so I know that I'm going to have to buy some. I also have several stickers that I use all the time, like script stickers that I'm running short on. So I am going to be needing to put in like a restock order, especially on Planner Kate stickers, and I'm going to need to get some more Sarah Marie stickers. But I don't want to overdo it. I'm just going to buy the exact amount of kits that I need. In fact, I really think I'm going to try and reuse old kits within the next couple of months. That's really hard for me, but again, I just need to do it, and I'm asking you guys to hold me accountable. It's really hard to put yourself out there and put your budget out there and your finances out there, but I do feel like it motivates me when I know that I'm going to be getting on my YouTube and keeping you guys updated every single week. So with that being said, I added a stickers category because I ended up spending quite a bit last month on just like some stickers as well as just other stationery for my planner, and I really should have budgeted for that. So I'm adding $150 for stickers. Again, that probably seems like a lot, but when you're somebody that plans in a lot of planners, and you know, I do it for YouTube, which is a huge reason as well why I'm really hoping to get monetized soon, because it would be nice just to make a little bit of that extra money to help out with all of the products and stickers that I'm using. Now, I do still use all of these products outside of my YouTube. I do this because I love it, not because I'm putting on a show. But it is a larger commitment to stick with it every week on my YouTube channel. So anyways, that's just a little spiel about that. So I'm also opening up an allowance. Again, you're probably like, if you're trying not to spend money, why are you opening up an allowance? And the reason is because I had a lot of unbudgeted spending last month. Now, part of that was because I was traveling and I didn't know that I was going to be traveling at the beginning of the month, so I didn't take that into account. But I just ended up doing a lot of extra spending, and because I don't budget a certain amount for unbudgeted, there was no cap. So I just kept doing it. And so anyways, I'm going to create an $100 allowance for myself that I can just spend willy-nilly, but I am going to refuse to let myself go over that $100. And you guys, again, I'm going to have you guys keep me accountable because I really, really, really need it. So then that leaves the unbudgeted category where I don't budget any money. The goal is to not spend anything that is not in these categories. And then I also have a sinking funds category as well that I'm not going to add the total to yet. I will add that in later. So that is all of my variable expenses. So we're going to move over to my fixed expenses next. So I'm going to go ahead and write in my categories first. So I just got my fixed expenses written down, and you will also notice that there is a new category in this section, and that is my car payments. So as you guys know, I bought a car in June, and my payments officially start this month. So that is also a huge reason why I'm feeling more tight on my budget and why I'm trying to limit extra spending, because my car payment is pretty expensive, and adding that in on top of my rent just totally changed the ball game. So again, I am expecting a pay increase in September, and I'm going to feel so much better when that happens, but this month is like, it's going to be tight. So for rent, I pay $7.75. And I know that's high. I did pick kind of an expensive place to live on my own. I live in a studio loft in our downtown area, so just with the location and the style of the apartment, it's a little bit pricier. A lot of one-room apartments usually are around like $500 to $600 in this area, so $775 is definitely up there, but I knew that I was going to be paying more, and I don't plan on living in these apartments forever. It's just going to be probably for a year or two, but that's a lot in rent for one person. So my sister is living in a house with her boyfriend, and they're paying that $750. So it's definitely a lot, but again, it's a choice I made that I am now working with. So then my car payment on top of that is $350. So I'm actually hoping to get my car payment lowered. I bought the extended warranty on my car and then decided that I really don't want to pay for the extended warranty, because at the end of the day, if anything happens to my car, pretty much nothing is going to cost me as much as it's going to cost to pay $2,500 for a warranty plus the $200 deductible that I have to pay on top of it anyways. But it's my first time buying a car, so of course they talked me into it, and now I'm like, I kind of want a refund, and they told me that I would be able to. So my goal this month is to get refunded on that, and then hopefully my payments will be closer to around $307 or something like that. That'll help at least a little bit. For internet, my payment did increase because apparently Cox was giving us like extra internet speed during all this COVID stuff. And so when I signed up for Cox, I bought the lowest internet speed, not realizing that they were boosting that. And so when they took out the boost, the internet speed was crap. Especially when I was trying to upload videos, it took about 13 hours to upload one video, which is just ridiculous. So I did increase my Cox payment, which kind of sucks, but you know, you have to do what you have to do. So instead of $29.99, I'm now paying $49.45. Then for renter's insurance, I pay that monthly. It is $13.57. I hate writing on the coil, oh my goodness. And then for iCloud, I pay $2.99. That just gives me extra storage space in my cloud, which is a lifesaver because my phone is always out of storage. And then Apple Music, I pay $9.99. Amazon Prime, I pay $12.99. Yoga, I pay $65. And then Linktree, I pay $6 even. So then let me go ahead and add those categories up. So then my total for fixed expenses is $12.75. $85.49. All right, so that is everything as far as my budget categories. So then I'm just gonna add this thin washi here. And then down here at the bottom, I can put down how much I'm expected to save for the month. So then we have it. There is my August budget. Again, it's gonna be really tight. It's gonna be a challenge, but I need to stick to my budget this month. It is crucial just to stay on track with everything and make sure that it all works out okay. So then, now I'm gonna go ahead and just set up the page for my weekly check-ins. So I'm just gonna do that real quick. Okay, so we need to figure out how many weeks are in August. So the first is on Saturday, so then 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. Perfect. So I have 5 categories that I keep track of: groceries, eating out, gas, personal care, and unbudgeted. So I'm just gonna leave 5 spaces between each one. Okay, perfect. So that's all that I need to do for my weekly check-in setup. I'll just add in the categories each week as I do my check-ins. And then the last 2 pages that we're gonna set up are my sinking funds, which I don't have a ton of. If you are unfamiliar with sinking funds, Sarah Marie has a video, I believe, where she kind of breaks down and explains sinking funds really, really well. But basically, to not make it complicated, it's just like creating separate savings accounts for certain upcoming expenses that you know you're going to have to make, that you don't want to have to worry about taking out of your monthly budget all of a sudden. So, for example, you know you have insurance coming up. Like if you pay, let's say you pay biannually, and you know you're going to have this insurance bill every 6 months, but you are not prepared to pay that. And so you end up having to take this huge chunk of money out of your monthly budget, and then you have to really like slack in all of your other categories. And this kind of keeps that from happening. So you know that you've been setting aside money every single month, and you don't have to worry about you don't have to worry about it having this huge impact on your budget, and you don't have to feel like you have to be so frugal for the rest of the month, right? Because you've been putting aside money and you're prepared for when that expense comes along. So that's really what the entire purpose of sinking funds are. So right now I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 categories, and I just started them last month. So this is just going to be me continuing to dump money into those categories. So we are going to start first with, I'm going to go ahead and just write out each category. Okay, so I only have these 6 categories. I'm not gonna add any other categories this month because again, it's gonna be a really tight month. So I just simply can't afford to dump money into any other categories. There are a few categories I've really been wanting to create, one of those being a travel category, but it's just gonna have to wait. Sinking funds kind of take time to build up, and if you try to do too many at once, it can just feel really overwhelming. So I am just starting with these 6, and I'm just going to continue to add to them. So I'm just going to add this strip down real quick. These are my totals for each category. Okay, so we are gonna go ahead and start with card tags first. So looking back, I should probably keep this on tags. Looking back, I started off with 0 in all of the categories, right? Because I just started them. I added $118 to my card tags. I'm gonna add the same amount this month because I have to pay my first set of card tags here in 2 months. And so I basically just divided how much they're gonna cost into 3 months, and I'm adding that much. And then after I pay my tags, I'll be able to add a smaller amount each month since it'll be, you know, over an entire year instead of 3 months. So anyways, I need to put for the beginning that there is $118, and then I'm going to add another $118. Car insurance, I pay every 6 months. Sorry, let me zoom in again. I almost forgot to do that. For car insurance, I pay every 6 months. So I added $74 last month. And this month I'm gonna add the same amount. For car maintenance, I added $1,000 to my car maintenance and I have not used it yet. I'm not gonna add anything else. The reason I put in so much is because I do actually have to get my bumper repainted. And I did find out the cost is gonna be around $800. So I just went ahead and poured $1,000 straight from my savings into my car maintenance sinking fund, and then I plan on using that probably this month to get my car repainted. So I'm gonna put 1,000, but for now I'm not going to add any. For my apartment, I decided to add an apartment category because I did just move a couple of months ago, and so there are various things that I need / want here and there for my apartment, and I just thought it'd be easier to create a sinking fund. This is definitely something that could just be a budget category, but it's not something that I necessarily want to plan on spending every month, but I do want to just have available to me when I do want to purchase things for my apartment. For apartment, since I have not finished the month yet, I don't know what my ending balance was for July. So when I do my first weekly check-in, I will just update you guys on what I add in for apartment and for gifts because I don't have the beginning balances for those yet. And then the last category is cell phone. And so for my cell phone, this is just me putting money towards the next phone that I'd like to purchase for myself. I added $100, so I'm going to add another $100. So the beginning is 100, and we are adding another 100. So hopefully that makes sense. After I figure out, so here's the transaction log from July. Once I figure out how much I took out of my sinking funds for apartment and for gifts, because as you can see, those are the only categories that I spent money in, then I will figure out how much I have ending, which is probably going to be in the negative, and then I will just dump a certain amount back into those sinking funds. I don't think I have any gifts coming up for the month of August, but we'll have to see. Anyways, so that is it for the sinking fund. So now I'm just going to go ahead and add on the transaction log, and then we will set up those dashboard pages. All right, perfect. So we have everything set up for sinking funds, and now we can just go ahead and flip to the dashboard pages. So this was what the July dashboard pages ended up looking like. I ended up not using the online orders tracker just because I had set it up late in the month and then I just didn't really bother with it, but I do want to use it in August. So I'm still going to make this for August, and I really liked the idea of this credit score tracker as well. I just need to go ahead and write my beginning and ending there. And then I wrote out my financial goals as well as my debt tracker and my for my student loans and my car payment. So I'm gonna do the same thing here for August. Okay, perfect. And then I'll probably, I don't have my stickers right next to me at the moment, but then I'll probably just add another little flag like I did last time. And the pink and the yellow actually look really cute. So there's the order tracker, and then I'm gonna go ahead and write out credit score here again, like I did here last time. And then I'm just gonna keep this one down here blank because, again, last month I was thinking about creating like a spending analyzer, but I just didn't really find that very helpful or useful, so I'm just gonna leave that blank for now and not really use that space. So that should be everything. I think we have it all set up, so let's just double check through this. So we have my variable income here in the front. Then we have the monthly view, which will be my expense tracking. Then we have my dashboard pages for my online orders, my credit score, my debt tracker, and my financial goals. Then we have my August budget as well as my weekly check-in, and then my sinking funds and transaction log. So that is everything for my August budget. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Keep an eye out for my July week 4 check-in and then my July budget results. And then after that, I will catch up with you guys on my week 1 check-in for August. Bye guys.